don't realize that the process of healing is becoming ourselves. That's what healing does. It doesn't bend you into some version of better, or it's not self-development, it is self-acceptance.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of the Spiritual Inspire podcast. I am your host, Claudiu Murgan. For older episodes, please visit spiritualinspire.ca, gnostiktv.com, or our YouTube channel. Also, you can go to soulawakeningstore.com to purchase my books, t-shirts, mugs, and also book energy healing session with me. My guest today is Colby Wilk. Colby, thank you for joining me today.
Hello.
You have a lot of experience in your field, and I would like to start by how did you discover your intuitive abilities in an early age, later in life? How did you recognize these gifts as an approach to healing?
I'll tell you a story. So I was in graduate school and I was in a counseling class. And in the class, you're supposed to give somebody counseling while other people watch you and give feedback. So I was on the outer circle watching this woman give another woman therapy. And this woman who was getting the therapy wasn't getting anywhere. And they said, well, what would anyone do? And they came to me, and I'm like, well, this is the issue, that's the issue, and therefore X, Y, and Z do these things. And they look at me, and the woman starts to cry who is receiving the therapy. She's like, I never said any of that. And I was like, oh, right, I can do that. I forgot that I can intuit what someone's issue is that they're not saying. And so for a long time, I had forgotten because I had hidden it from so many people, and therefore I hid it from myself. So along the lines of growing up, I learned you don't say that. You don't upset people. Smile, say nothing. So I've always been rather intuitive, very empathic, like highly sensitive. Um, but I forgot that I had the gift.
And do you feel that these days, these type of gifts are much more appreciated, and those who have the gifts are not seen as odd?
I can't comment on what was. I can only say to you, I think everyone wants to be seen, but not everyone wants to be seen through. And being seen through, meaning that you can see through their stuff, their BS, their resistance, their ability to keep the truth away from them. A lot of people do not want to take on that, be seen in that way. And that's really what changes people.
And is this from a fear of changing themselves and revealing that trauma that kept them down all their life, or do you think there is any other reason?
I think what happens is when people are seen through, I'm sure you have the gift. I'm sure you will at a party early on, and you're like, I remember in high school, I said to a boy, I'm really sorry your father treats you that way. And he's like, what are you talking about? Your father touches you in ways you don't want to be touched. And he punched me in the face because, as a kid, I didn't realize it was a boundary.
Yeah.
I tried to do it in the most compassionate way. But people get scared of the truth. And as you know, the truth will set you free. But first, it'll piss you off, right? Like we all want to know what's in our way. We all do. But most of us don't want to know it's us that's in our way.
Yes, and what comes to me right now is like we have valves inside our bodies, and someone like you comes along and you start releasing these valves. That pressure will mount to the next one and to the next one until you just have to let it go, let that pressure out. And this is what you just said, that pressure will set you free.
right? Most people don't realize that the process of healing is becoming ourselves. That's what healing does. It doesn't bend you into some version of better, or it's not self-development, it is self-acceptance. So when people are first, I know people, I got a call just yesterday from a woman. She's all of 18, maybe she's 17. And she's like, I want someone to go in there and clean up my trauma so that I can be free to. And I'm like, God bless you, sweetheart. God bless you that you are so innocent that you think that's how it is. God bless you. Because there are so many people in our industry, you know this, who are over-promising, under-delivering, and saying you can change in an instant, which is possible. It is possible, but it's not that frequent. So the truth is, healing is becoming ourselves, and you've got to be willing to be with you, the parts of you that you've abandoned, neglected, betrayed, in order to heal them. You can't just come in with somebody with a higher consciousness and do, sweep through, do a rotor, and presto changeo. That's treating you like you're a machine. And
Yes,
we're
and we have
not
to be ready, as you said, because then our change will be reflected right away on the outside with family and friends. And if they don't accept the new you, and you feel that you have to need that type of acceptance, you go back into your shell and everything starts, the cycle starts all over again.
As you become more and more awake, you move out on the edge of consciousness, and there are just less people out on the edge. Most healer types, shaman in the old stories, live on the edge of the village because they want to be near nature by the woods and they want to be away from people. The more you develop, the quieter you become in here, and the more you seek quiet. A friend of mine was going to Paris and was like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. I don't want to go to Paris." Now, if you want to go to some remote village in Nepal, sign me up, right? But so, yeah, if you change, your family may not accept you, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And the real challenge is not, oh my God, my family doesn't accept me. The real challenge for people is I'm alone and I'm scared to be alone. That's the real challenge. But really, once you open your consciousness, you recognize all of life is alive. You're not alone, hardly alone. In one of my awakenings, the whole universe came alive for me, and it was like this deafening sound. I was like, oh my gosh, let me put my head under the pillow. It was just so incredibly loud. But, there are those of us who are drawn to awake, and there are those of us who are not. That's okay.
Yeah. And talking about awakening, in spite of academic and professional successes, you felt unfulfilled until your spiritual awakening. So, how did this realization reshape your understanding of personal fulfillment and success?
So, what I want to say to your listeners, you can't go after awakening. You can't grasp awakening. Because if you try to go after it, well, one, why? Well, I want to do it because I don't want to be depressed or unhappy. My friends, awakening does not eliminate your depression or anxiety. It doesn't. Let me help you out. Okay. And it is not the be all and end all of all things. Let me help you out. Okay. As one of teacher that I studied, after awakening, you chop wood, carry water, just like you did before.
Yeah.
You just have a different parasite. You just have a different perspective. So don't go after awakening. You go after being more and more present, more and more quiet, more and more still, more and more alive. That's what you set your sights on. And that will awake you. And there are as many forms of awakening as there are people. Okay. My form of awakening is different than Susie's, is different than somebody else. I was studying with a person who was saying that they could look at you and tell you how awake they are. I'm like, oh, I got to avoid this person because you're policing people's awakening, like telling somebody they're not as awake as somebody else. Please. That's spiritual materialism. That's what that is. So, if you want to be awake, okay, why? Look at that. Now shift that to, okay, I'm going to be more present. How do I get more present? And the truth is, you asked me about my awakening. I've had about 10 major events in my life where something shifted. Having said that, so many people are going after the event, right? I did this and then something happened and I'm forever changed, right? They're going after ayahuasca or mushrooms or this retreat or that retreat. And all those things are great in the right time, at the right place for the right person. Okay. But it's not, if again, if you're chasing after things, you will not awaken because you're still in the land of trying to get because you're not enough. Just calm down, be present. So I've had 10 major awakenings. Each time my consciousness has opened, and each time there's a whole lot of crap to move through because you do not awaken, in my opinion or my experience, without having to move through stuff before the awakening and after the awakening. There's a whole craptastic lot of stuff in the closet that you've got to pull out before the awakening to get awakened. But guess what, my friends? There's another closet of crap. No, I hate myself. I hate everyone else. I want to murder myself. I want to murder. Crazy stuff because we're not aware of what's in our subconscious, which, as you know, is the majority of us. Okay, so it's not the answer. It's not. But those of us who are drawn, and we have no choice in the matter, honestly. You can fight it all you want. It's like if you're an artist, you're an artist. To be an artist, let go, be an artist. Do it. You want to be a plumber? Be a plumber. Just be a plumber. Stop fighting it. I hope I
Yeah.
answered.
And can you share at least one of those events with us, please?
Oh, sure. This last one, I was studying with a guru at the time who spotted me. He's like, "You're on the edge of something." Because I'm really psychic. I have incredible vision, right? Like, and that's he's like, "You're just on the edge." I'm like, and who doesn't want to hear that? I'm on the edge. I should gave me some mental enlightenments, whatever. He gave me some Shakti pot and this type of thing. And then I stopped sleeping. And when I say I stop sleeping, I just stop sleeping. And not in a good way, not in a I don't need to sleep. This is a I'm not sleeping and I'm starting to lose my mind sleeping, right? Because you need a certain amount of sleep
Yeah.
to stay intact. And I felt like I was unwinding. My legs were buzzy, right? And then the Kriyas started where I would go into these yoga postures by themselves. My toenails turned black from all the heat that was coming out. You could get near me and I was a furnace. Not like I'm a big guy and I'm a furnace. No, like I was like I could heat a room, okay? And then it happened, which is the Kundalini ran up my spine and pushed out. And I decided to, if you're in the moment of these things, they tell you, which I didn't know, don't do anything else, just rest. I didn't know that. So I combined it with Tantra and I did a micro orbit where you run your energy this way. And I came undone completely because the energy, instead of going up the main channels, went everywhere. And it took me about 7 years to integrate.
Wow.
I had health problems because the energy went everywhere. And it started acting like a pathogen in my system because my body's like, it doesn't belong here. Right. So I had a really hard time. And yeah, really, really hard time. And now I'm on the other side of it, and I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to have the awareness that I have. But it was harder than it needed to be.
And Colby, you just mentioned a keyword, Kriya. Are you a self-realization fellowship devotee by
I
any
have
chance?
been in the past.
Okay.
I'm not
And
active right now.
how did you come across that path, please?
Oh, golly. I live in Seattle. I'm in these circles. Someone tells me something. I check it out. I was one of those people chasing enlightenment. So if I could get near somebody with awakened consciousness, I thought I would get near them because all fields transmit, right? So I would get near them and pick up what I picked up.
Interesting.
Great
Yeah,
work.
because I'm a devotee too of like a Yogananda devotee. Yeah.
It's great work.
Yeah. You have various certifications like hypnosis, NLP, Theta Healing, Reiki, Qigong. But based on what you mentioned at the beginning of this interview, that you just read someone and you'll be able to tell him or her some of the issues. How exactly is your process? Do you go into the Akashic records? Do you go into their energy imprint? How do you work?
Oh, God bless you. I look at across the person that I'm in front of. Well, that's not true. I look at the person, I'm like, oh, and then I get really calm. So I enter the unified field, and then I ask, what does this person need to know? And then it shows up. Like I look at you now, and I see certain things light up in your field, and other things don't. So depending on where I'm working, I'll be like, okay, what's that that's lit up there, and why is it lit? And why is that so murky?
Mhm.
What is that? And what are those beings that are standing behind him? Right? And you know, I just it's I'm just on.
All the time.
Yeah, I'm just on all the time, basically. But I have the way I turn it on, that's true. I always have access to it all the time. It's just I gotta ask, like, okay, what's up with that? Because I believe people that are at the effect of it, like people, dead people constantly talk to me. That's not okay. That means you don't have boundaries. You should be able to be a person in this reality and not have all that going on. But it's not hard. You know what the truth is? I'll tell you. Here's the truth. I listen really well. That's it. I listen to when I look at you, I listen. And then I just share. That's it. And then if healing's required or appropriate, then I will intend to connect with my beings and ask for their assistance and
And
receive healing.
knowing that you have these gifts, why did you go for this type of certification like Reiki or NLP, which are efficient? And I interviewed other experts in this matter as well on the podcast. But I also interviewed those who have your skills and didn't pursue any other certification. So I'm trying to understand the mindset.
I why did I pursue it? I am really interested in how people change. I'm really interested in that. And I'm really interested in how people make sense of their reality. I have two interests, basically. So I'm always looking for like what else I could add to my repertoire. At one point in every practitioner's growth, I think, they get some training and then they make it their own or their own gift opens. And that's what happened to me. I was always gifted, always empathic, check things out to see the lay of the land, take what I can that makes sense, and then your gift opens. I will still pursue other modalities because I want to know. And every time you get next to somebody else who knows something, your field expands. That, like, I don't, yeah, I'm really fast. For those people oh, I'll tell you a story. So, one of my old teachers was teaching a class online. I'm like, oh, this person rarely does that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go sign up for their online class. So I did. I went on. I signed on the class. I'm like, oh, Mother Mary, this hasn't changed. It's been 30 years. She has not changed her paradigm. It's the same stuff. It's the same. I'm like, oh, that's why it stopped working for me because I was set on evolving.
Mhm.
And she is evolving in her way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's not, but not in a way that will contribute to me at this time. So I want to say to your listeners, if you're pursuing modalities and your modality is presently not working, that you learn, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
We get so fixed and tied on trying to find a solution.
Yeah, so maybe intuitively I added this question to my repertoire of questions when I interview guests. I ask them, what's your next tool, your next arrow you are going to add to your toolbox? And some of them might say, I have nothing, I'm working on nothing new I'm working on right now. Or some might say, you know what? That's a good idea to look at new options, new modalities to fine tune my craft.
You always should, in my opinion, for me, I just finished a class in Kabbalah, right? And I'm like, you should always be exposing yourself to new matrices, new containers not perfect, because that's the wrong word, to keep on expanding yourself and seeing things. Because I'm not so much interested in what God is, although I am God, the divine source, whatever that is. I'm interested in what this is. What is this? And what is the apex of my evolution? I'm really like, what is that? And so if I keep doing my own thing, I'm gonna, you want to expand, but not from a place of grasping. That's the key.
Yeah. Yeah, we really have to, as you said, expand while we are in this lifetime in this bodysuit. So understand what our capabilities are. And I was talking to a guest earlier today that I hope that in 2 or 3 generations we'll be able to feed these bodies with prana, chi, and also communicate telepathically. That will have a smaller footprint on Mother Earth.
Hmm. You and I can communicate telepathically. You have that gift. I have that gift. It just requires attention and it'll take a few weeks. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
I have a friend who, I mean, is it the telepath diaries? These autistic, have you,
The telepathy tapes.
there you go, right? So it's in the matrix, right? If you want that. Um, I have a new dog and I chose not to get him the buttons because I don't want him talking to me. I have enough things talking to me. Anyway, back to you. Sorry.
Yeah, I was amazed by the telepathy tapes and how connected those children are, and the capabilities they have and they keep developing.
And we could have the same. Oh, I have a friend who's a breatharian. He doesn't eat, hasn't eaten for years. He just survives on breath.
Yeah.
Skinny. He's not crazy skinny, but that's all possible. So, it makes me consider where am I stuck and why do I believe in limitation in that arena? Because, when clients come to us, well, I should say when clients come to me, if they say I want to be awakened, I'll always ask them what they mean by that. What are you talking about? Like, what does that mean? You want to be more in love? What are you talking about? What are you talking? And then you have clients, or I have clients who are like, Colby, I want to be free of kidney cancer, or I want to be meet my lover. Okay, and then there's a question of why. Well, why, right? So with any person's desire, there's a real motivation and there's a compensating motivation that needs to be separated.
Mhm.
I'll give you an example. Last month, I saw a woman in her 30s, beautiful, and she wants to be in love, can't meet anyone. And so I really want to be in love. I can't meet anyone, da 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 da. And I use my gift and I'm like, oh, you don't want to be in love. You want to be validated. That's what you want. No, no, because the truth is going to piss you off. No, okay, just sit with what I'm saying, please. Starts crying. It's true. I want to be, yeah, you want to bring him home. and say to your dad, look, I'm a normal person. See how normal I am. See how great he is. He's normal. And so if I go with her first motivation and work on attracting her or love her, it's the wrong thing to work on. I need to work with her on self-validation. And maybe when and if that occurs, the gentleman will show up.
And how often do you hear people say, I want to be in service to humanity? How do you treat something like that? Or approach, sorry, not treat, approach.
I have literally never had that request. And I'm like thinking about, I've had people say, Colby, unlock my healing gift. That I've gotten, which I will do and won't do. Both are true, depending on the person. Because there's a responsibility, right? If you're coming from arrogance and you're trying to unlock your gift, I'm not doing you any favor. It's going to come back on you, dude.
Yep.
So I haven't heard anyone ask to be of service to the world without a conditional motivation.
Mhm.
You've
Interesting.
gotten that request? You've gotten that?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
It's
I
wonderful.
was asked personally if I want to serve. And of course, my answer was yes. And from there, everything started. So I know that I have to be humble and rooted. Otherwise, nothing will happen.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Colby, I know that you've engaged with communities focused on empaths and highly sensitive people. So,
True.
what strategies do you recommend for empaths to protect their energy and thrive in today's world?
Oh, God bless you. So I do work a lot with empaths and HSPs because I love them because they're so quick, right? And as a healer, you're probably an empath and an HSP. That's just our nature. So being an HSP and an empath is all about space. It's all about space and a misperception of space. So the first thing with I teach an HSP and an empath is to bring their attention into their body. We can do that now. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah.
So three fingers below your belly button
Yep.
and in the middle of you. So here's your front, here's your back, in the middle. Bring your attention as if there's an eye looking out of your still point. Now, other people would refer to it as a Dantian or Hara. And bring your attention down there. And you could ask the beings there. Let me just get a container. There we go. And you could ask your beings, hey, beings, my ancestors who are awakened, my guides, my archangels, bring my attention to my still point. Bring my attention to my still point now. And down you go into the middle of you. So many of us keep our attention in our head or above it. There we go. And down you go into the middle of you. And just relaxing as best as you can. And if you want to go deeper, you just intend to go deeper. Not a lot of effort, not any effort. Just, hey, beings, bring my attention into my still point now. There we go. Now you're dropping nicely. And sometimes people leave their bodies and go below them, as you are doing now. Down you go all the way. Relaxing, dropping your traps, your shoulders. There you go. And you could say still point, still point. And what this is an embodiment practice. So when people say, oh, you're too much, you're not really here, I don't feel like I got your attention, what they're really saying is you're not in your body. And this is a practice to bring you into your body. Still point. And now from this point forward, if you said still point, you will go right there. So you can bring your attention into your still point anytime, anywhere, in front of anyone. But what's key here is it's a practice. It's not a miracle drug, right? You got to keep practicing it so that when you need it, you can use it. Most empaths, how was that, by the way?
That's good. Thank you.
Most empaths, most HSPs keep their attention in front of them, right? You keep your attention in your third eye and in front of you. So what happens when people keep their attention in front of them is they're bombarded by astral forces. And when they meet somebody, my attention's in front of me, I'm going to pick up your stuff and then pull it back into me. As well as this person now feels like you're in their space and it's too much. So you as an empath and HSP, one of the first things I teach you is to draw your attention back to you, which is very uncomfortable for an HSP and an empath because we've generally learned to make it about other people. And the way we make it about other people is we're constantly in their space, sensing what they need, what they want, how do I meet it? But
Mm,
what empaths and HSPs need to learn is to bring their attention back so that you can be you, not be you, some version of you that this person wants, that you project that they want.
yeah,
So
interesting.
again, HSPs and empaths is about space. They don't understand how space works. They tend to not respect it and be in other people's space. And then they tend to be at the effect of things being in their space, noise, people. So it's all about space with
Mm,
empaths and HSPs.
yeah, interesting. Thank you. Colby,
Sure.
if you have the chance to invite three spiritual, um, well-known people to dinner, who will these personalities be?
Betty White, she's so incredible and so attentive yet detached. Like her. I would invite um, Freddie Mercury because he understood passion and he understood the collective and tapping in and feeling, and he was um, willing to be him and a little bit more.
Yeah,
Freddie White, Freddie Mercury. I would be willing, I would want to invite, who do I want to invite? Christ, probably Christ.
yeah. Thank you. I mean, the first were quite unique. No one answered that way. We know Joshua is a desired personality to have around and ask for various things out of curiosity, pretty much about how it was in that time. So,
I'm going to change Christ. I might invite Metatron. What's Metatron's original name? Enoch.
yeah.
Because he was human and then he became like I might go there. Who else would I invite? I mean, oh, Burt Reynolds. I would invite Burt Reynolds. That's who I would forget Christ. No, Burt Reynolds. He's got such an incredible sense of humor. He's so funny, and he was so willing to laugh at himself. So lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, and you incorporate humor in your sessions as well. Is that because it has such a healing power or for any other reason?
Um, I like to laugh, and I think that you know and I know that healers, energy workers don't make it much more than 10 years in the field. You and I both know a lot of people did really well. By year 10, they're starting to fade because their systems can't handle it anymore. They even though they may not have desired to process another person's stuff through them, it happens. So it's a lot to do. And so what humor does, one, you enjoy it and you go into a different state of consciousness and you're not making it such a problem. And even though I know better, I need the humor to remind me of that. Nothing
Mhm, mhm.
terrible is happening. I was visiting a friend's wife yesterday who's dying, basically dying. We laughed our fucking heads off. Pardon me. We laugh. She's dying. We're laughing. And I think that humor goes with everything. And when I'm at my best, when I'm really connected, I'm playful and I'm sharing the truth as I see it. If I'm not playful, I'm not at my best. I'm not.
Mhm.
So
And
yes.
because you had such a great time yesterday, doesn't mean that she understood the fact that she's moving to a different state of being and this is just a temporary existence and she was happy to go back to source, or what was her approach to this for others considered traumatic event?
So one, she's hopped up on drugs, keeping her comfortable. Her husband's there. And it's more just enjoying ourselves. It's not about like, woohoo, you're moving on to the next plane. Yay. No, no, that's future tripping because we don't know what's happening next. A lot of spiritual people get hung up on needing to know, right? Colby, why is this happening to me? Why is it? And I get this all day long, right? The truth is, it is the great mystery. We don't know how it works. And there's no shortage of healers, people on Facebook and Instagram willing to tell you that they know how to change your life. You should run. You should run because we don't know. That's the fun part. So we're just enjoying each other. She's enjoying the drugs too, I'm sure, right? And there's a light that sometimes reveals itself, gets revealed when people, in my experience, when people are dying. People who have, I wanted to say, done a lot of work, but honored themselves, the light starts coming out of them. And there's a light that fills the room.
Yeah. And in fact, I shared with a close group of friends, I think a month ago, one of my ex-wife's work colleagues has cancer. And about a year ago, she started chemo, or like in October, she started chemo. And she sent her a photo of how she looks right now. And she used to be chubby, and now she's just down to what I consider her bare bones, the real self. And she emanated so much light and so much love. I just couldn't stop from myself from crying because I thought that's real her, not the previous version. And she has to realize that she has to keep this version for as long as possible for the rest of her life.
And the truth is, we're not pieces of wood. We don't stay the same, right? We're more a convergence of streams, right? Flowing and changing and da da da. So I know so many of my clients who want to check things off their list. Okay, I've worked my self-esteem. Okay, now I got the husband. Okay, now I got the summer house. Okay, oh, I got the private plane. Okay, great. Okay, okay. That's not how life works.
Yeah.
We tend to circle around the same issues our whole life, hopefully from a different vantage point. And so we develop resilience. What would have taken us out a year, 10 years ago for a couple of days. Now we can get over in 10 minutes and return to well-being quicker and quicker. But this idea that enlightenment or ascension, which should really be called descension, because we're not leaving our bodies, we're coming down and in,
Mhm.
right? It's descension. It's not a soma. It is not like, it doesn't anesthetize us. It just makes us more alive. That's all it does, which is great.
Yeah. And looking ahead, how do you see the evolution of spiritual and energy healing practices?
Well, thank goodness AI can't touch it. Woo! So how do I see it? Well, it's a interesting question. Um, people in the United States, anyway, are getting tighter with their money because the people are afraid. And so a lot of things are moving online to online products with for $47 you get 9 sessions that are recorded. So I don't know. I think there's this big movement to, I think healing needs to be personalized because we need to understand someone's mental landscape
Yeah.
in order to shift it. But unfortunately, that's not the way it seems to me, and I'm glad to be wrong. Seems to me that's not the way things are moving. It's moving towards large classes, recordings, to shame.
Yeah, but at the same time, it means that there is a niche for someone like you to find those particular clients who are willing to have their treatment or their sessions privatized and individualized.
You know what I think is interesting is that we are damaged by people in relationship. That's where our damage occurs. So if you're an infant and your mommy or daddy or whoever is looking fondly at you, good. But then your mommy and daddy turn away or don't have the wherewithal to pay you tribute. You develop like, oh, I need to get their attention and whatever that means. You become a pleaser, you become a dictator, whatever it is, right? The only way you resolve that kind of trauma is in relationship with somebody.
Mhm.
You can't resolve people to people trauma, which is what all trauma is, outside of relationship. You can have all the recorded sessions you want. You can read all the books you want. You can't touch that unless you find somebody who's willing to walk with you, me or you, or somebody like us, who's willing to walk with you on your journey to remind you. What I think is really interesting is I was having this thought yesterday. So much of healing is critical, like figuring out how somebody is thinking poorly about themselves or their world. Poorly meaning without resource. But there's not a lot of encouragement. Our culture seems to be devoid of encouragement these days. Yes, you can do it. Go. I believe in you. You got this. Where has encouragement gone? Where has it gone? And so all these recorded products and classes, you can't touch the trauma. And what this person may need is for this person to say, you got this. I believe in you. I love you. Got this. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, and talking about interaction, human interaction, and love. I recently, no, in fact, recently, 2 days ago, I watched an episode on Gaia about a neuroscientist and AI expert talking about imbuing AI with love and have a human talking with AI, and AI will be very empathic, like a shrink,
Mm.
pretty much. So I think they are going towards that path as well. I don't know how advanced they are going to, or how deep is going to develop, but they were thinking of pretty much replacing the shrinks and the psychologists with AI embedded with love.
So here's the thing that I would say. You can't touch it because the AI does not have an energetic field.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so the AI could illustrate what would be love, but doesn't have an energetic field to send or receive love. Unless they could do that, which I would sincerely doubt they can. You need body to body. You know the story, right? Like the baby's first born prematurely. What you do is you rip off your shirt, you put that baby on your shirt, your chest, right? To get the body to body contact. So
Yeah.
the baby's body knows it's safe. Those babies who are just put in an incubator without that body contact wind up a little wacky later on because they're afraid of people, right? Or whatever. I'm speaking very broadly here. We need human to human contact
Yeah.
and escape that. There's just this movement towards greater and greater isolation. Like, yes, AI will make a global world, but within that is people being isolated from other people.
Yes, indeed. Colby, if you have the chance to give humanity another gift other than what you are offering right now, what would that gift be?
If I could give a gift to humanity,
Yes.
Mother Mary, what would I give humanity? Clean water?
Yes, good. Thank you.
Clean water.
It's a good answer.
Why? Well, I'm revising that to know that they are loved. I'm a Jew, and one of my teachers would say, if peace would come from anywhere in the world, it will come from the Middle East because Middle Easterners know about hatred. They know about betrayal. They know about abandonment. That's what people in the Middle East, they know of that. They
Yep.
have eons of history. So if peace will come from anywhere, it'll come from there because those people will have to overcome their abandonment, their betrayal, their rejection, that's where we'll come from. And so any sort of misdeed or misaction stems from people don't know they're loved.
Yeah. Thank you. We're
Sure.
approaching the end of this lovely discussion. Any
Oh
final words?
no, 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 I want more. Ed, what would you like to,
Do you have any final words
do I have any final words? Gee, Mother
for
Mary.
this interview only?
Oh no! My friends, things are getting really chaotic out there. People are worried, people are afraid, and if you're at all sensitive, you're going to have to clear your field. So what I'd like to offer is a simple practice. Would that be okay?
Perfect.
Okay. Everyone bring your attention into your still point. We just did it. 3 fingers below your belly button in the middle of you. And you could always undo this. Just repeat after me, okay? You always undo this. And say your name. I, Colby, align myself with the galactic sun. And the galactic sun is the being that all the changes are coming from, the new illumination. I align myself with the galactic sun now. And I accept the changes that you're shining through the universe. There we go. And as I accept these changes, all the chaos and others' energy is moved out. I accept the changes from the galactic sun and all the chaos, all the energy, the thoughts and emotions of others are moved out to make even more room for the changes from the galactic sun now. And here we go.
Thank you.
Not done yet. Give me a second. So let's just let that happen. There we go. It's important to keep your field clear of everyone else's chaos so that you can do what you came to do, which is, for many of us, bring to light, embody the new energies.
Perfect. Colby,
Sure.
thank you very much for everything you do in the world and for your energy. Thank you. Much love.
Much love to you.
Thank you. And to my viewers, thank you for watching. Share it, leave a comment, visit the websites I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And until next time, love and gratitude.